staggering. It's staggering. It's absolutely staggering. Okay, people, how we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. And as you saw in what we posted on the YouTuber Crow1176, it's absolutely staggering that he was printing up that much stuff in that apartment. Do you have any idea how dangerous that was? It still is. He's probably still doing it. Very, very dangerous. They're going to go in there. They bring a hazmat crew in there. They're going to have no problem finding residue in that whole place. It's probably saturated in there. And on top of that, he was right over top the machines doing the work. The amount of damage that those machines can cause is pretty much. He could have all types of problems that haven't even is disrupted yet. When I was in that basement and I was breathing in that mold, it didn't happen right away. It's not something that happens like right away, all of a sudden, boom, so and so and so. This happens down through a period of time. You start developing these symptoms that will start popping up. Like you'll start getting dizzy, headaches, stuff like that. Your skin burns. You'll start getting tingling feeling in your feet and in your fingers and stuff, like little sharp pins being pushed into your hands and stuff like that. And then you'll have this really hard time breathing. You'll be coughing a lot, cacking and coughing a lot. You know, it's stuff like that. But that stuff comes up later on in time. It's a slow burning process, you know. The eyes burning and all that stuff, that irritation and skin, sometimes that happens right off the bat. But usually the stuff, the long-term effect, the real damage that really messes you up, that stuff takes a little bit of time. But it does happen. And he breathed that stuff in. He was that close to all those machines. He was breathing this stuff in. So you got to consider, if he's breathing that stuff in, then, you know, at the end of the day, they're breathing it in. The animals are breathing it in. And again, fumes like that can penetrate through walls. They can go anywhere they want to go. It's like mold. Mold goes where it wants to go. Just like that. That's why code enforcers have to get involved in this, because zoning has to get involved in this, because he's operating these machines in there. There's 3 machines in there he was running in that unit. Big one and 2 small ones. No. And the ventilation, equal the ventilation he has in that environment, in that apartment, wouldn't even be able to combat that at all, period. That's way too much. I told you, a friend of mine, he's an expert. He has a company in that. He saw that video. He was like, what the freak? He could have killed somebody. Somebody could have died. He could have passed out in front of that machine. Anyone could have passed out. And he said he's running these machines for 12 hours. At 12 hours to run one of those machines, he said, to print up all that stuff. So there's a good chance he might have been running these things overnight. He can operate it from his phone. He just sat there and said he was operating one machine with his phone. So he can monitor and operate it with his phone. So he could have been running these things overnight. And imagine all those fumes pushing off in the apartment, pushing off from the people around that are sleeping, and they're breathing all this in. That's how dangerous he was in that. And then you got all those fumes and chemicals in there. I just saw, when he pointed over to that little dot in the day, I saw the Jason mask over in the corner. So he's been printing those out too. The original Jason mask, and then he did his own, which you can't do. Similarity lawsuits, can't do that. He was printing out dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of those, thousands. And then turned around and said, I'm printing it out for this little guy right here. You just literally just put it right there. You printed it out for a customer. Now they're going to go through. This is where it gets messed up. For people who are involved in this, they're going to go through he's going to go to an interrogation room. That's definitely going to happen. Jamie's going to talk. He's a canary. He's going to sing like a canary in there. He's going to be scared to death. Look, he was scared to death for a process server came to the store. And that wasn't even to arrest him. That was not even to throw him in jail. It was just to give him a document to appear in court. And he couldn't even show up for that. So imagine to get him in an interrogation room, how he's going to basically start spilling the beans on everybody. Get ready for going under a bus, because this guy's known for doing that. So he's going to spill on everybody. It's not going to help him, but he's going to spill the beans on everybody. There's a storage unit full of stolen items. A storage unit. So this guy was running a full-fledged business. And mind you, to have a storage unit with that much contraband in it, imagine how much he printed inside that small apartment, how much fumes were pushing out of that unit. I wouldn't be surprised if people were complaining to the landlord that they were smelling a weird odor in the air. He couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And if there were multiple complaints that went out to the landlord and he basically turning a blind eye, didn't know anything about it, he's going to jail. He's going to get sued. Everybody in that building can file a lawsuit against him. Everybody. Anybody in that building who's paying rent, got a lease at the end of the day, you can file a lawsuit against them. And this is the reason why when people get upset, people like him will sit there and say, oh, it's wrong. This is why you have immigration. Immigration has been around for a very long time. ICE didn't just pop up from yesterday. ICE has been around for a very, 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 very long time. They've been around for a very long time. You have ICE units on Canada borders. They're out there. They're all law enforcement, border patrol, all that stuff. They've been out there for years and years and years. They've been out there for years. It's nothing new. The only thing that makes it new is that this is the first time they ever had this kind of power to be able to. Usually they would just be on the border. That's where they would be at. This is the first time you would have this kind of power. You would have units come here and there, but it was light. It was nothing really heavy at the end of the day. He's the one that put a quota on it. He wanted 3,000 a day. Now, when you do something like that, this is where it amps to the roof. And you're going to sit there and say at the end of the day, like you're an innocent person at the end of the day. What makes it so bad, Jamie, is the activity you just found on you. Is that you want to make yourself believe that you're like the everyday Joe, honest citizen that came here and has the one purpose of basically getting their kids into a good college. Who would not want that? Something better for their kids. Come here and work a good job, got a nice house, drives a nice car, and just basically living the American dream. They have that right. Those people have that right. Those people that are working to get that have that right to be here. They have a right to have their citizenship. They have that right. You do not have that right. You could have killed somebody. Thank God God was watching over all that craziness that was going on. Because, man, if that machine had overheated and caught fire and a fire had started up in that apartment with all those chemicals in there, do you have any idea how many people he could have killed? You're not living in a shack in the middle of 200,000 acres. You're not living in a shack on 100 or 1,000 acres. There are people who live around you. Even if you had a house that was detached, like the one I have in, I still couldn't even do that in there. I thought about it. I saw one of those things, like, I might want to buy one of those. But then I read through all the stuff, and I'm like, oh, heck no, I'm good with that. Because I've already suffered from lung disease. I ain't trying to push anything more on that than the day. No, I'm good. You see, my friend unit has one. He has a unit that's roughly around, I think it's 28,000 square feet in his unit. That's what he has. And this unit, he has them in a separate room. And this room is a large room, has these massive fans in it, ventilation system, has a huge door that comes up, the air can push in and out. There's constant flow of air pushing through that environment. Workers in there have to wear masks. They have to wear masks. Even have to wear a full suit, just in case for skin irritation, all that stuff. You're in there operating that thing like it ain't nothing. You're operating 3 machines in there. You put everybody in that apartment at risk. And the sad thing about it is, with these particular fumes, this is a slow-term effect, which means that some of these people could have problems and not know it yet. And the sad thing about this, Jamie, you'll be deported, you'll be in another country, and these people will be left with that damage. Because their kids may grow up with asthma. Now, their kids may have problems for even the respiratory issues because you got greedy with money and you decided to run a business out of your apartment. And again, not zoned, not licensed for any of that, and pretty much you do that nonsense in the day. Repercussion that you hurt other people around you, including your own family members. Because your wife breathed in that stuff, I know she did. And your kids breathed in that stuff, I know they did. And the pets also breathed in that stuff. And I did. I contact SPCA. Because again, that's animal cruelty. To have animals in an apartment where you're running that type of machinery in there. So again, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I just couldn't imagine the amount of damage you cause at the end of the day to other people in that environment. Now they're going to go from apartment to apartment, each apartment, to talk to people about what they might have smelled coming out of your apartment. And your apartment is going to be shut down. They're going to red tag it. They're definitely going to red tag it. So the machines that are running there, that stuff is all in that apartment. That apartment has to be cleaned because it has those fumes and all that stuff, that residue is in everything. Yeah, he could have literally killed somebody. Could have blew half that building up. You know, the machines come with proper instructions. They tell you everything. You can't sue the machine company. You can't sue them. No. You can't. Because they give you all that information in this machine. They tell you what you can use and this, that, and the other. They have all that in. They tell you what to do. He ignored all that. And operated them everything. He had them right next to each other, back to back to back. And the window was shut. The window wasn't closed. You had a blind over top of it. You can clearly see your operating machines with a shut window. We saw that from the video. Even if you were to open up a door, it's not enough air to push in there. There's no air to push in there. Those fumes are going to go from left to right. All the fumes are just not going to pick up and go directly to the door. That's not going to work at all, period. You have to have a way to flush air in and out of that unit. The apartment, number one, not designed for it. It's not zoned for that type of equipment. It's not zoned for business. Where does it say on your well, you don't have a lease. You technically don't have a lease. If you do have one, it's probably a fake one. So that's pretty much it. So we just had to prove and show that you were operating the equipment. We have it. We had to prove that you were basically storing this item, how much of this stuff you were making, where you were selling it at. Got all that. That's no problem. I duplicated majority of all the videos we needed. So you go and delete whatever you want. It won't make a difference. We have it already, and they have it now. If you decide to get up and leave, you can't go anywhere. Where are you going to go? Can't go to your family member's house. They don't want you over there. Now, when they find out what's hunting you, they don't want you over there. And now, what's going to happen is, because once the police go in there and they search that place, they're going to contact ICE. ICE already has, we have a report on you already for attacking my company for copyrights, for touching my company. So they're going to start a manhunt on you. So you know what they're going to look at? They're going to go to every one of your family members' homes. That's where they're going to go. And knowing Jamie, as slimy as he is, he'll do that. He'll probably go try to hide over at one of his family members. So it ain't going to help you. They'll go to every single one of them. There'll be ICE, there'll be law enforcement officers, all the way down there will be hunting you. And you want to sit on your channel, you want to call somebody racist at the end of the day? Consequences for that, Jamie. Attack the Christian. That's what you did. You went out and you spread vicious rumors about a Christian, said all these nasty things about my blessings, attacked God, because that was what he gave to me at the end of the day. What do you think the outcome was going to be out of all this? And I kept telling you over and over again, back it down, man, back it down, back it down, man, back it down, back it down, man, back it down. Did you listen? No. Gave you multiple opportunities, Jamie. If I was racist, Jamie, at the end of the day, the first time that process server came to your front door, I would have opened up that case and I would have got 5 more process servers in that area to make sure you can't go anywhere. If that was about hatred at the end of the day, I could have easily had that done. Easy had that done. I let it go. Because I figured the guy coming to your front door should be enough to scare you. But it didn't work. He just kept on coming. Sent you a cease and desist order. Did I have to send that out? No, I didn't have to. I could have got you right from the door. Could have literally got you right from the door. Try to give you a chance. What did you do? Kept on going. Made multiple YouTube videos telling you, man, look, you got to back it down. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. And listen to none of that whatsoever. Just kept on going. And now look at the situation you're in right now. Panic ain't the word for it. That ain't the word for it. And if you're going to sit back and say, well, it's your fault because you reported me, listen to how that sounds at the end of the day. So I'm going to allow you to run a machinery, rip off American companies. I have a company myself. I wouldn't appreciate someone coming and duplicating that screen over there and selling it off and making money. And I don't get any of that. That's my product over there. It belongs to me. But you feel you have that right to rip people off. So any company would be ticked off watching this video demonstration or any other video demonstrations we just launched about you. Operating 3D printers, most of them in a small apartment. The long-term effect of that, could be harmful to the people around you and your own family members. These people could end up with respiratory issues, all kinds of stuff. I went through that at the end of the day. It is not a pretty ordeal to go through not being able to breathe. It's horrible. For those of you who suffer from respiratory issues, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you operated these machines in that environment knowing you had people around you. How do you walk out your door and see your neighbors and smile to them, especially if they have kids, knowing you're operating that type of equipment in that apartment? How do you get on YouTube with your followers? Talk about how much you are an honest person and you're a person they can trust at the end of the day, and you rip off their country. Got no respect for Stan Lee at all. The man died, for goodness sakes. Jamie? He died. He passed away. He gave the best of his life to give us an incredible memories. And you had a nerve to go on your YouTube channel and give her tribute to Stan Lee, cry those crocodile tears, and then go in and rip him off. And then you take it to Comic-Con of all places, man, and make money off his work, his hard work at the end of the day. Pocket it, put it in your own pocket. Go golfing. We recorded all that. Golfing, going, all that stuff. You spent the money. We recorded all that. Show where it went to. I just sent the email off just a few minutes ago. It is right now about to be in the hands of code enforcers and police. They have your address. They know what you look like. They know everything that they need to know at the end of the day. And they know you're undocumented. So I made sure they knew. So that way, they can bring in ICE to take care of the situation. I don't approve of ICE attacking people at the end of the day that belong here, but I do approve them as getting ready people that are going to commit crimes in our country. I do believe that. And I think they believe the same thing about American citizens who go over to their country with TikTok videos to go over there and disrupt their peace of mind on basically harassing, bullying, and basically, what do you call it, so we're vandalizing their property. That's why I hate it when Americans go over other countries and do stuff like that. And the minute they get picked up by the police, they want to call him, I'm American, I'm an American. I'm like, don't mention that. We don't want you. You make us look bad. So what are you saying, Fernando? Are you saying at the end of the day that anybody at the end of the day comes against you and says that you are committing crimes that they're considered to be racist? That's what you're saying? That's the message you're putting out? Because that's what it looks like over there. And those things, those pictures you sent over, I put them in that file and sent it over. Those are considered to be a threat at the end of the day. I'm trying to put my life at danger. Nothing's going to happen to me at all. I'm good. I'm protected by God. You, on the other hand, you're in a lot of trouble. Now, you keep on pushing. Keep on listening to that demon at the end of the day. He'll finish you off. Keep on listening to him. You better get down and find God. You better seek and find God. You're in a bad situation. And I have to do what I have to do. I don't appreciate you ripping off American companies. I don't appreciate you ripping off any company. I don't care if it's overseas here. You don't have a right to take their stuff. Especially if I'm seeing the activity in that apartment and the study I did on your machines at the end of the day. Are you freaking kidding me? You blew up half that building could have went up with you. What if those outlets had overheated and you're running those machines? That apartment's not zoned for that kind of equipment. You can have one in there. People have one little machine with tabletop. That's it. But it hasn't been well ventilated. They running 3 machines in there, including a full-size one in there. Then you're running all that other equipment in at the same time. So what if one of those outlets decides that they can't take it anymore and decides to basically poof, start a fire? You know how hard it is to control electrical fire? It ain't something like you can take a hose and spray it out right there. It can be all in the walls. You can have a flame literally running on a wire throughout the entire wall, through the wall where it's hot at. Your place will blow up just like that. With fast-moving fire. And then you got all those chemicals in it, which is going to basically give it a boost at the end of the day. So that means people at the end of the day are going to have to leave their apartment, leave their belongings, to watch their building, their home, get burned to the ground because you decided to be selfish and go in and run a 3D printing counterfeiting business out of your apartment. I'm going to tell you something, buddy. If I lived in that apartment and I found that out, me and you have a little talk. Because you put my kids at risk, you put my wife at risk, my family at risk, family members at risk, me and you got to have a little talk. You got no respect for anybody but you and yourself. You only care about you, only. And your wife is going to be blamed for some of it. You know why? Accessory to the crime. There's no way in the world she could have walked to that apartment and not seen that. There's no way in the world. She knew everything that was going on. And she could have reported it, but she didn't. I noticed when you walk through the storage unit, somebody was with you. You weren't alone. Because someone had to hold the camera while you were looking through the stuff, and that's what you asked someone to hold the camera. I hope that wasn't your sister in there. Mind you, there's cameras in that unit that record everything. So those cameras saw you pull whatever you had in that storage unit. They watched everything in and out. So they saw who went in, it's timestamped, and who went out. You know how storage units work at the end of the day. So if you decide to go there and take anything out, you're going to figure out where it came, what you took out. You load anything, that's going to be all recorded and documented. So it's been noted to them there's a storage unit you're putting your stuff in. They'll track it down and figure out exactly where it's at. So wherever storage unit that is, you're in a lot of trouble. Well, that's pretty much it. I got some 3D hologram technology to play around with on the new technology. My work, at the end of the day, I have to pay for the patents and trademarks and all that stuff at the end of the day to keep people from stealing my stuff. Like you. And we sent over all the documents showing that you have a history with us stealing and touching people's copyrights. All those little pictures and stuff that you took about taking their stuff and doing what you want to do, all that's being sent to them to show that there's a history of you doing this. This is nothing new. And I also sent over detailed receipts of the Frankenstein, your website for selling the Frankenstein, all that stuff, all sent to them. Fire marshal. I got to call a fire marshal. Well, they're going to contact, they come to code enforcement comes through. They're going to bring in a fire marshal anyway. So he's probably right now trying to figure out how to stash and hide the machinery someplace else. That's what he's thinking right now. That's what the devil's telling you to do. Figure out how to hide all that stuff. You can't. There's pictures and videos on everything. So what it's going to look like when the police get over there and they see all that stuff at the end of the day, they don't see anything over there. They're going to look at it in a way where, where's the stuff? Because we have videos and pictures of everything that you had in here. So where is it? That's not going to help you at all. That's not going to work. When code enforcers get there, they can do tests to find out if that equipment is in there. That stuff is saturated in your apartment. They can also track down the trucks, the waste management trucks that come out there to pick up things out of the dumpster. They can track them down. You have cameras outside your building too on top of that. All that stuff goes under investigation. Jamie, you think these officers are stupid at the end of the day? They'll find everything and anything. At the end of the day, they can track you down on just about everything. So you're done. No matter what you try to hide, you're done. There are people who hit people with cars, and people, 4 or 5 people, someone, and they'll take the car somewhere, strip it down, melt it down, whatever, blah, 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 and then they get away with it, and then guess what? They're in jail for hit and run. Forensic is freaking insane on the technology after that. You know, they can lift and find. Okay, well. You know, all this started, Jamie, because you started messing with that formula over there. That, what's it called? Sapphire. You messed with the Sapphire. Remember you said some stuff about it? And we didn't even know you were doing this stuff. Because I would have caught this a long time ago. So you said some nasty stuff about the product, and I wanted to back the product up. And lo and behold, what did I see on your account? I'm looking at the first time I saw it, I'm thinking, is he selling his collection? That's what I thought at first. But then when I went back in, I was like, that's not his collection. He's printing these things out. And then when I went to your account more and more, I saw you printing out all this stuff, which I sent over to them. Stuff you're printing out licensed material, and you're selling it, inviting people to come down and buy it, and all that stuff like that. And then you're bragging about the money you're making off of it, and you got storage units of it, and you're going on trips. Oh, we know about all that stuff. And I said, oh my goodness, he's counterfeiting. And it gets even worse, because then I go back in yesterday to talk about why we call ICE on you, and what do we find, Jamie? We find multiple machines used in your operation, chemicals and stuff in your environment. Bragging about printing out thousands and thousands of licensed material. Where are you disposing all that stuff at? I bet you're throwing it in the trash. I guarantee you, you're throwing it all in the trash. So you're just ruining the ecosystem at the same time while you make your money. Well, that's it. Then to your demise, right there. See, you listen to the devil, right? What did the devil tell you to do, Fernando? And let go. The devil told you to go in and make some nasty comments about the sapphire screen paint that we developed, right? Well, on my channel, I'm showing this stuff off. It's beautiful paint. And you decide to go in and make false demonstrations against us. That's what the devil told you to do. When the devil told you to do that, we went in to defend our product. And when I went to defend my product, what did I find? I find all the things that the devil told you to do. The devil will have you do things, Jamie, and then lead other people to your mess that cause more mess for you. I'd have never found out about it. It wasn't for you touching that technology over there. And we don't go to your account. There's no reason for me to go on your account. You're on my account all the time because you're jealous of my work. And I couldn't care less. Why would I be over there? See the stuff I engineer every day? Why in the world would I be on your account, James? I'm a busy man. I'm all over Allentown doing demonstrations. I'm here and there. I got stuff to do. I got time to doing the stuff that you do. When your YouTube account ripping people off, we got to contact. No, you do. We got to contact eBay today because he has no license, and that's a new law now. You have to have a license, whether you like it or not. You ain't gonna like this one, but you do. You have to have a license. Even with the eBay account, you must have a license to sell in the state of California. You have to. Any state, you have to have it. You have to have it. I have a website. I had to have them. You say, what about Chris? Yeah, I have one for ILE technology screens. That's what my license for. What about Crystal Edge? Crystal Edge, we don't sell anything on Crystal Edge. There's no marketplace on it. If we're going to get a marketplace for it, we got to turn around and we got to get a license for it. But there's nothing on it. It's an information page. That's why if you look at the domain name, it says www.ileg-technology-screens-info. It's an info page. We pulled the marketplace a long time ago. We didn't sell anything on it. And then we changed the domain name on it. It's not used for anything but an information site. That's all it's used for. We sell on the other site. That's where my license is at. In order for me to get the scholarships and everything that I needed from a company, it has to be a license on it. I got to have a DBA, EIN number. I got a business tax wholesale license because I needed that because I get stuff for much cheaper when I use that. But you got to have all that stuff. And one thing leads to another. And you can't use an LLC. Why can't you use an LLC, Jamie? Because you committed perjury on your LLC. Which now we got to contact Secretary of State for all this stuff that you were doing in that apartment, running that chemical factory in there without basically having proper licensing or zoning to be in there to begin with. You're going to tag your building. They're going to tag the whole building, they're going to tag this apartment. And they got to reach out to your landlord. And your landlord is going super duper ticked off, but also super duper afraid. Because they're going to ask him at the end of the day, how is he here when he's not supposed to be here? Did you know about his activity being here? You had to know. How would you not know? How does somebody live 10 years on a property or more and you not know about this? So, our lawsuit money won't be coming out of your behind, Jamie. going to be coming out of your landlord's butt. Whatever you have left in that apartment, whatever's in there at the end of the day, they're going to confiscate everything in that apartment. They're going to take what they feel you printed out. Hopefully, they don't mistake the stuff that you paid for as printed, but then again, don't make a difference. You won't be here. Your unit has cameras, so you know that. So you take any of those units out there, they're going to know. That place is empty when they come in there, and they find out the machines are going, they're going to check those cameras. Mind you, all the cameras outside, those traffic light, all those cameras pick up everything. You're in a digital age, remember, there's no place you can go. Where are you going to hide all that stuff? You can't hide something that somebody already knows about. That's impossible. You can hide something that nobody knows about. You can hide that because nobody knows about it. But if somebody knows about it, how do you hide it? You can't. Evidence is right there. And that evidence, if you look it up in court, it says, honestly, it says, if you have evidence showing that someone has committed a crime, pictures, videos, whatever it may be, this can be held against them in a court of law. That means those items were there. And then all of a sudden they disappeared. Right around the time the police come around and enforcement officers come around, and code violations and all that stuff, just haven't disappeared. It's been there all that time, but all of a sudden it disappeared right around that time. Shows that you basically went and you hid those evidence to try to get rid of it. You're going to contact all those people that were involved in it, ask some questions. Now if they cooperated and said, hey, look, I bought this stuff from him. Definitely got it from him, so and so and so. They may get a plea deal. You got a bunch of witnesses saw you sell stuff to them. Going to go to Comic-Con, they're going to go through there, their cameras, records, all that stuff. They're going to go through your PayPal account, Cash App account, anything you have, they're going to go through it. You can delete your account, you can't delete the actual account itself. And right there on the table, I literally saw a QR code of an order. We scanned it. You'd be surprised what came up off of it. So everything in your PayPal account is time-stamped. When the order went through, Cash Out, when the order went through, everything is time-stamped. And we got you in there bragging about money. How much money you made. Well, that's pretty much basically about it. What is she hooked up? I don't think we are. Well, Jamie, you know, I as a person who has a business and have worked very hard to build my company, and to watch somebody come in and repeatedly say nasty things about my work, my hard work that I do every day, and to come in and do what you just did to my business, it is actually fitting for what's about to happen to you. It is. I prayed and asked the Lord for justice, and I got it. He handed it the evidence that I needed to put you away. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's been feeling and having problems with Fernando. I think the people in that building has probably been smelling a weird scent for the longest time. Have probably complained to the landlord multiple times, and he did nothing about it at all, period, because I don't know how he does not know what you're doing in that apartment. And for the owner of that apartment, I got a little message for you. My attorneys are going to wipe the floor with you, because again, your tenant you had in there basically attacked their company, used copyrights, committed all types of crimes in that apartment. So we're going to take it from you, everything from you. Because again, you had to know that stuff was going on, and there's no way in the world you couldn't figure out how that was going on. Out of all this, I hope his kids don't receive any debt. I hope they don't. But knowing these major companies, who knows? We're going to try to find a loophole. Someone's got to pay for it. Because they got to make an example out of somebody. Can't let people go in and rip your stuff off at the end of the day. But they're going to make an example out of somebody. I hope those kids don't get hit with that nonsense. I really don't. Fantastic future you left for your kids, Jamie. Fantastic future. Father of the Year. Fantastic future. You won't be there to watch your kids. At the end of the day, build their lives, you won't be there. Because if you're going to be somewhere, gee, what's the amount of crimes he got? He's going to end up in El Salvador. I know he's going to end up over there. He's going to definitely end up. Those are serious offenses he got. He's going to end up over there. Gee, where's Louise? I don't know what's worse, man. I don't know what's worse. And then you got to worry about the long-term effect with these people in this apartment. Like I said, we're going to go through. I got to call SPC, Animal Control, for your animals. Because, again, it's animal cruelty. They have those animals in there like that. You say, well, I got them in another room. Another room doesn't mean jack. You could have somebody painting in the room. You can still smell paint through the entire environment. Well, you can smell paint in an environment. When someone paints an area, and you can walk in there and smell that paint, that scent, how strong it is. That's why they have this kind of like, this stuff you drop in paint to give it like a vanilla smell or a cherry smell to kill down on the scent. You can smell that stuff. And that's water-based. Imagine when it's oil-based, you definitely can smell it. When I go to the art museum and I go to where they have the art paintings at, you can still smell it. You still smell it. They put fresheners and all that, so they can't put too much in there. It'll mess up that artwork in there. But, you know, it gets a little pungent sometimes. And I can't deal with this. I'm getting the headaches in here, even though I like the work and all. But you can smell if someone's painting, someone's varnishing furniture and all that. You can smell it. So I'm pretty sure that scent didn't just go, well, you know what? We're just going to stay here. And when it comes to the other room, we're not going to even go in there. No, it doesn't work that way. It's going to go where the freak wants to go. I can smell cigarettes if someone was smoking in their apartment. If you want to walk out in the hallway, I can smell it. So you see that little diagram in the thumbnail? Yeah, you were right close to those machines when you were doing all that. So who knows the respiratory issues and all kinds of stuff you just triggered off to yourself. All the little small micro little chemicals that are attached to your lungs right now. Called in lymph nodes. You know, lymph nodes are these big, huge bruises that come up on your lungs. Little knots of infection that pulls up on your lungs. That's what it does. And they make it difficult for you to breathe and function. But on top of that, what that causes nerve damage and all kinds. It can affect your brain too. On top of that, brain damage, liver damage, kidney damage, heart disease. That's what those chemicals give off. It's that major organs shut down. You went in and operated all that stuff and you had other people around you. I got a couple of videos I got to do today. I'm going right back to reaching out to the rest of these agencies on what we found in that place. And you get mad at me all you want. I don't mean jack to me at the end of the day. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And you sit there and go, oh, he's doing this out of hatred. No, Jamie, it's not hatred. It's justice. That's what it is. It's justice. That's what it is. Go out there and preach your YouTube followers and tell them at the end of the day that Mr. Bird is going to basically contact as many people as he possibly can. I'm going to bring World War III to your front door. That's what I'm about to do. Because you're unhappy because you can't rip off America. You're unhappy because you can't run a dangerous printing machine in your apartment that could potentially kill other people. If you have a right to rip off Marvel comic artists, DC artists, including the great and late Stan Lee, you can line your pockets with their hard-earned work, with their work at their hard-earned work at the end of the day. You have that right. You go tell them all that. Remember, Jamie, what I said on camera multiple times. What's in the dark comes out in the light. God does not allow any dark, hidden, evil, whatever you do at the end of the day, it does not allow it to go uncovered. And you had a nerve to put blessed while you were committing those sins against God. God got no part of that. God has no part of that whatsoever. I sat there in the middle of that floor announcing before the Lord and everybody on YouTube. I said, if I am all these things that this man claims me to be, may the Lord cast me out into the light and let everyone see who I am. What happened? Our technology advanced through the roof. We have never had a technology do that ever. I've never had one. At 50 lumens, generate outside in direct sunlight and push an image. Do you have any idea what's left from a projector after 100,000 lux of sunlight strikes it? There's nothing there. And yet it pushed an image right through. Our screen paints, everything we have has advanced way beyond we've ever seen before. Every door has opened for us. That doesn't sound like a man at the end of the day that's doing something wrong. But you, on the other hand, what happened to you? You got caught operating multiple printing machines in an environment, working and operating a business in an unzoned area that's not designed for it, working without a business license at the end of the day, copywriting, trademark, patenting, stealing major motion picture items, licensed teams from comic books, to everything you could possibly think of, and then going out in Comic-Con and selling this stuff. And now the people that are involved, and make sure you never do this again, is the Lord going to bless you at the end of the day and say, hey, it was right for him to do this? If it was meant for the Lord to do this, when they get there at the end of the day, then you won't go to jail. You'll keep doing the same thing you're doing, right? With no problem whatsoever, right? If it was meant to be. But it's not meant to be, because you're not supposed to do that. We all know that's against the law. Everybody knows that's against the law. Everybody. If that was the case, everybody would be doing it themselves. What's the point of me going out and buying a pair of Nikes when I can get somebody to make them for me? Or I can make them myself, if I had the skill level. What's the point of me paying? What's the point of us paying for any of this designer stuff or anything they have on the planet if we can just have the freedom to do it ourselves? Man, Calvin Klein and Versace, Gucci, and do it ourselves. We don't need them at the end of the day. We just make them. We can't. They own the rights to that. They're stealing at the end of the day. All right, then that's what you did. You stole. And what does it say in the Bible? Thou shalt not steal. It does not say that in the Bible. You broke a commandment. That's one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal. It's in the commandment. You broke it. So how could God bless you if you broke one of his commandments? The devil told you to say that. You don't mock God, my friend. You don't mock him. God is not one to be mocked. God is not one to be taken as a joke. God is the one person you're going to need the most in this situation. You're going to need him in this situation. All right. Put that there. Are you fighting your fish again? Fighting Mr. Fish? Mr. Fish, what did Mr. Fish do to you today? He started it. It's after instead, at the end of the day, he started it. I'm going to fight this fish right now. I'm upset with his fish. What's your fish do? You and the fish are always fighting about something. Alright, let's see. We're going to be running this through what? Oh, we're not even hooked up. Whatever. Let me see. We should be hooked up. Let's run through here. Oh, no, that's the run through there. That's why it's not hooked up. Okay, let's get this one. Let's do some business. Fight it, Taco, fight it. You and your buddy always fighting about something. Fight it. Alright, we're in. We're in. Did you connect all the way through? We're in. Oh. There we go. There we go. Let me see. Okay. This mess right here. Come on. See how these people are using it at the end of the day to make a profit of making their own designs? That's what you're supposed to do. You abuse the machine. You're supposed to use that machine to make your own designs with it. Now, you could have used that machine, Jamie, at the end of the day for companies who want professional badges done. Like the little badges you put on screens and stuff. So people go to people. I hired someone to actually do our badges for us. So we go in and we have to give them the copyrights. This is our copyright for our stuff to make sure they don't touch or whatever. And we find some little form with them. They form an agreement and all that. And then they make our badges for us. And we pay them. That's what you're going to do with it. But no, you decided to go and rip off a bunch of companies. You know. That's what you decided to do with it. You did something else better with it. I don't have to get a large mirror. A large mirror. In the showroom, we got to put a large mirror in so they can see what's going there behind the other side, vice versa. A large mirror. City. Future city. .3D screensavers. That's pretty cool. Right there. Rock, right, you're done fighting your fish. Go back to it's over. Are you done fighting your fish already? Right. Okay. You know, look, see this big old head there? Hey, Taco. Weirdo. Watching the screen, that's what it is. You watch this TV. Hey, Taco, what's up, dude? What you doing? I have no idea. You're about to jet out in a minute. I gotta go take you somewhere. Check out warehouse unit. It's a big enough section for me and him. I'm about to get a track you can run around in all day. Hey, Taco, you want a business tie? Want a business tie? I don't know. That's why when I get a unit, the unit has to be big enough for him to be in there. Why? Because his section is different. His section, when we're working in there, it won't even affect him in any way whatsoever. Because that's my cat, it's my kid. Running around with poison fumes at the end of the day can potentially cause him problems. running and operating the machine with them dogs and cats in there. That's animal cruelty. And when they walk in there, they gotta remove them. That's gonna happen automatically. Call one of your family members to sit and pick them up. And he might even have that opportunity. The kids will have to do it. You won't have that opportunity at all. Did Jamie get on camera and apologize for ripping off these companies? Of course he didn't. He didn't do the same thing when he ripped off all those people on his product match network Crows1176. Got it right there on the blacklist, showing activity that you're doing this stuff. You went out there and you ripped off all those customers on that paint, and that ones that you have to come out and say to them, hey, look, the product matched the house paint. I apologize at the end of the day. I'm going to try to work to make something better. For now, we're going to do all tests next to that paint. Did you do that one? No. Matter of fact, we can show on our blacklist, we can show that you continue to sell the product long after finding out this matching house paint. And you did it with the other one too. I bet you if that customer who painted that screen in, I bet you if you saw that video demonstration, you'd have bought your stuff. You'd have bought bare silver screen. Does the same thing, but cheaper. Did you come out there and apologize to anybody? No, you brought back up the video and said it had a yellowish tone to it. That's what you did. And right now, even on eBay, you're trying to sell a Metallica 2.0. Same paint. Make it for free. No metallic in it. Well, that's it. The time here is done. I thought at the end of the day, you document it, have its paperwork, you can get them 80 years for copyright infringements. For touching those copyrights. 80 freaking years. That's about to get 80 years. They'd be sitting in the jail somewhere. But unfortunately, he's not going to get that. That'd have been actually much better than where he's going. So it turned out better than we thought. Because he's going somewhere at the end of the day, you're going to pay for everything at the end. You're going to go to a very bad place at the end of the day. Is that a neon light in the back going through there? It's not a neon light. Just keeps that thing. What are you doing that kind of stuff, man? Consequences for everything. Everything has consequences. Okay? Consequences. Isn't it interesting? If I pull that bottle away, you can't see through that screen. If I put something next to it, you can see right through it. Hey, Taco, have a Coke and a smile. You gonna do your gallop again? Your gallop? Let me see. Nebulon. Alright, let me see. I gotta do gaming off this in the back, so on top of that, we got another sheet we have to do in the front. Here's the game off with. Try to chop the Cumi on that one and run it through there. What do you think about that top? And just bring it up close to the Cumi on it. When the game fits into that sucker. Got it right over there, might as well. Still gonna get a lighting at the end of the day. Where is the Cumi? Have you seen the Cumi, Taco? Oh, it's right there in front of me. That's Taco. Right there in front of me. Let me see if we go here. Alright. I'm in this video. We're not even we're just almost there. I'm just getting my stuff set up. I got stuff to do today. Gotta take responsibilities, Fernando. You did this to yourself. You gotta take that responsibility. Got no one to blame but yourself. I have no idea what in the world you were thinking by counterfeiting all those items like that. What do you think? You have any idea how bad you made your life at the end of the day? What the freak were you thinking? And then you posted everything on social media for everyone to find it. That is self-snitching. That is ultimate finance. I swear, they're going to look up in wiki links. You know, look up there and see. Self-snitching. Your face is going to pop up. I have never seen anything like that. That's like the equivalent of walking into a bank with all your information in your face right on the front of your shirt, but yet you're wearing a mask. Who did you talk to gave you the advice that you could even do that? Gee whiz, and the scale of it all. And you recorded yourself walking into a shipping container, not shipping container, a storage unit. Jamie, the thing about it is you want to be me. I can tell that. Because I got several storage units that I have. And you want to be me. I see that everything we do, you try to mimic it just like me. Say you're like me. You're not, man. The difference between me and you is a great difference. A great, great difference. Like, I used to be fat, and now I'm thin. I basically take care of myself. I work out all the time. You don't, at all, period. You steal from your customers. I don't. My customers' demonstrations are better than yours. Heck, at the end of the day, all my products are tested. None of your products are tested. All my products are backed by guarantees. You don't have a guarantee. You have, if it lands on your property, you're stuck with it. That's your guarantee right there. You're guaranteed to be stuck with it. My product doesn't match house paint. I got tons of demonstrations on black demonstrations, black fabric, black film, plastics, you name it, been there, done it. You couldn't even beat house paint. Hey, 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 what are you doing? You can't be near that screen. Thank you. You freaking cartoon. Here's tail, question mark tail. Is that question mark tail? You and your question mark tail. You're funny. We're about to go on in a few minutes. So, yeah, we're nothing alike, man. We're nothing alike in no way whatsoever. But for some reason, you keep comparing your products to me. We're not in the same boat, man. We're never going to be in the same boat, ever. But so badly, you want to be like me. So badly. And I see it. My storage units that I own are legit. There's nothing in there at the end of the day but projectors. We throw projectors in there. Equipment, screens, stuff we don't use anymore, that's what's in there. Everything we have in there is by law we can have in there. What you have in your unit is against the law. You can't have it in there. That's the reason why I'm going up and you're going down. Oh, let me see. Ooh, I'm glad we didn't see that taco. Nasty. Anyway, yeah. We're not the same people. And you want to say, oh, no, we're not. We're not the same person. We're not all here. Jamie, you know, you taking pictures of your golf and all that stuff, and you feel that supposed to make me jealous at the end of the day. That technology is worth millions of dollars. A lot of money. That technology retires me for life. That technology allows me to go to Dubai and stay at a 7-star hotel if I want to. Drive fancy cars, eat at restaurants that most people would have to die 6 times over eating just to smell the food. That's what that technology will do for me. That thing will be embedded everywhere and anywhere. And that's not the only one of its kind. There's 67 forms of it that we have at our, do whatever we want with. I've now got a technology that I can sit there and go, well, if I don't want to be inside of a building, I can do my demonstration outside, which I backed it up and proved it. That thing is worth a lot of money. I got investors willing to give me a lot of money just to be a part of that, so they can get some of that money themselves. That's what you call a blessing. And never went to school for chemistry, ever. Didn't go to school for computers, none of this stuff whatsoever, period. Went to school for restaurant, for cooking, and I don't even do that. I don't even like to cook myself. So, yeah, that's just what you call blessing. Everything we throw that screen at, it passes on every single thing. It passes. That's exactly what you're trying to do. That's what you call a blessing. When God gave Noah the ability to build an ark, did it sink? Did it go to the bottom of the ocean and kill everybody on it? Did that happen? Was he killed by any of the animals? Was he killed by a lion or a tiger or anything he had that could have easily killed him? None of that ever happened, did it? Nope. Did they starve to death? Anything? Any stories about that? None of that, right? God took care of them. God made sure that he made it to destination, that all the animals were able to sit in a pen without killing each other. He did all that. That's what God's blessings do. God's blessings don't start off with people stealing, robbing, and operating machinery that could literally kill a bunch of people. That's not God's blessing at the end of the day. Look at Moses. Moses went down to fight a king at the end of the day. Did Moses get murdered? Did he get killed? Did Pharaoh's armies attack him and destroy him and kill him? Any of that happened at all to him? No, nothing at all, period, right? He walked in there, he represented God, he tore that place up when he went there. He went down, dropped that staff, ate both of his snakes from both of his wizards. He came back. Every time he came back, he says, okay, give you a warning, I'm leaving out. And God came down and rained fire on him. God came out and brought locusts and ate up all the crops. Flooded the area with frogs. So many frogs, you open up bags of grain, and there's frogs pouring out. Mosquitoes, locusts, flies, you name it, just plagued that area so badly that the people were so sick and tired of them, they wanted them out of there. They even turned against their own king. Moses came back again and asked again, did God let him down? When God said, you go in there, you represent me at the day. When you represent the Lord will make sure that no harm comes to you when you represent him. When you call yourself what you were doing, representing God, no, you're representing Satan. That's who you're representing. That's who you're representing. When you put down blessed, you got no blessing, you got a curse. You represented Satan. That's who you represented. When Moses went there, he came there with confidence. At first, he was kind of nervous because I'm not a guy who doesn't speak too well or something. Lord, don't worry about that. You represent me. That's all that matters. And he went there and did what he had to do. The Lord had gave him the proper words to reach and how to speak to and talk at the end of the day. And he came here and did what he had to do. And at the end, Moses came back in there even more brimming with more confidence because he knew he saw the beautiful works of God. And he went and says, okay, last warning. They didn't want to do it. So he went there and they put the blood on cross on all the doors that the angel of death was not supposed to touch. And any door that didn't have that cross on it, the angel of death took the firstborn. Anyone took their firstborn. And the city was full with weeping and crying because their firstborns were dead. Even the king himself, his firstborn, was killed. Was taken. God came to represent. Only victories. Christians have victories, Jamie. We don't have what you're about to have. That's what the problem is. You got people out there who, like, what you call, he's a perfect example. Williams went out there and ripped off God, stole from God, called himself being a man of God, a preacher, all this stuff like that in the day, and the devil exposed him. When it was in the light, came out in the light. We all saw it all. Williams called himself a man that got multiple emails of cursing, carrying on, and stripping down to his underwear and sending out pictures all over the postal service. Exposed him for what he is. Because God knew Williams, at the end of the day, was taking that money from those people. God knew that Williams was basically saying, oh, make sure my channel doesn't go down. Make sure at the end of the day you support us at the end of the day. Because we're about working with God. And God seems to shake and it's like, no, you're not. You don't work with me. I don't know you. You work for Satan. That's who you work for. I'm going to expose you to what you really are. You think God's going to sit back and allow people to use his name and his works at the end of the day to rip and steal and rob? What do you think happened in that temple when Jesus walked in there with that stick and started beating those people out of there? Don't use my house as a den of thieves. You're in my Lord's house making money, pocketing money, saying things about my Lord that's not true. So that's what Jamie did. Jamie went and put blessing on his stuff, like ripping off and stealing and robbing. Thou shalt not steal. Breaking the 10 Commandments, and had the nerve to go in there and put blessed. I'm blessed. You're not blessed. God's not blessing you. God said that, no, I didn't bless them. You're not blessed. That's why you're going to go through what you're going to go through for a number of things. You're going to be exposed so everybody can see what you are. Same thing, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams was exposed so everybody can see what he is. It was in the dark, it comes out to the light. And Mr. Bird sat right there in the middle of that floor and said, if I am all these things as they said I am, may the Lord take it all from me, put me out in the light, so everybody can see what I am. And what did Mr. Bird do? Mr. Bird walked all over Allentown with a 50 lumen projector and a 300 lumen projector and a battery pack and produced anywhere I wanted to go, giving us now one of the most powerful games now on the market. Opened up every single door, advertising company, loan from my company, ability to get a bigger warehouse, opened up all doors for us. There you go. The devil's working. You got what the devil pays out. The devil pays out curses. He doesn't give out blessings. So Jamie, for you to put there I'm blessed is blasphemy to God. God does not reward people for evil. He punishes them for evil. You caught him doing that, mocking me. Oh, we got to run it from there. We definitely run it from there. Cut off, cut off, cut off, cut off, cut off, cut off, cut off. Yours. Garah, 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 garah. Somebody doesn't go, like, how freaking do that? Do that. Ooh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Milky Man? Milky Man. Milky Man. Mr. Milky Man. Milky Man. Milky Man. Rah. Get up. Get up. What sound is that you make? What is that sound you make? You make the good up. What's a good up? What is the good up? Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. What is that sound? I have no idea. My buddy is, he does it really good. I can't do it like he does it. He does it really good. Like, he rolls his R's really, really good. However he does at the end of the day, it's funny. Every time we go to this drive through, he's really good at it. And how the fuck do you do that? Come to whenever you laugh at the end of the day, he is really good at that. McDonald's fried. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Shenanigans. He's up to the danger shenanigans. Just jump through into the dangerous shenanigans. What you doing with them dangerous shenanigans, Taco? And your dangerous shenanigans. You and your dangerous shenanigans. Get it, get it, get it. Oh, man. Don't knock over. You knocked over the whatchamacallit, man. I don't want you knocking over my screen, dude. Don't you play. I'm going out in a few minutes. About this leash. Hey, you knocked over your screen, buddy. All right, you took a piece of your stuff. funny, dude. I'm gonna put this up. Alright, I'm gonna cut your back on back on. I played that sideways Pac-Man, that thing was awesome. I didn't know you could tilt the board. I like that. Alright, buddy. I'm telling you, slammed my screen. So the dead I said on my screen, it went head first into it. Miscalculated. Almost knocked it over. Behave. It's not the time for you to be jumping around, slamming into stuff. I'll put the screen away. You can go jump around. We're about to go out in a few minutes. We gotta go somewhere. I ate one on my PC. My PC has all of them on there. I got all my PC. I got the Extreme, all that, Miss Pac-Man, Junior Pac-Man. I got all of them on there. YouTube. Manhattan Highway. Well, I haven't done this one in a lot. Heck on. Let me change your board out. I want that slant to it. Let me see. Maze. Oh, get it going. I got like Tron. Oh, it's the camera angle. It's the camera. It's the camera. It's the charters. What's the camera? Oh, it's the camera. Camera. We got on the camera? I'm doing this one. Right, is this slanted? Oh, just 3D's it. I'm going to use an accumulator today. That projector over there is nice, but it just generates, even though we got it in eco mode, it generates a ton of heat. There's still a ton of heat in here. But I got the lights over top. Man, that's freaking, it's hot in here. And this one right here I can run because this doesn't run anything at all, period. No heat and anything whatsoever. And Jim, I gotta take a break from you for a bit. I already got everything sent out that has to be sent out. All the agencies I got that are involved, we'll get it taken care of. I need time to work on something else because, man, you're depressing, dude. You just do a lot of freaking ugly stuff, man. You're a depressing dude, man. You're a depressing dude. Right, sometimes I gotta go into the Pac-Man to basically erase that dark spirit he has on him. Just do something else. Man, that's why I set my screen up. You don't make one technology, you make a lot of technologies so I can change out. If I don't want to work with the screens in the back, I want to work over here, I can go play on invisible technology. Get off me. Yep. Oh, they got me blocked in there. I want to do a portrait. We got the projector. This portrait. I want to do a portrait transparent screen. Oh, hold on for a minute. That just popped in my head. We have to do a portrait transparent screen. I got to do one. That would be freaking cool. Put it right in the center of the photo and look for the one outside with the other side. That'd be crazy. We would have ported. We can make a portal from one out to the other. Oh, Spidey senses are tingling. Figuring out something interesting to do. Something else. When we done this before with a portal, we got two of these surfaces right here. We can stack them right on top of each other. Oh, we're gonna do it. I know myself at the end of the day. Well, project. Got something I'm working on. I'm making a portal. So I'm gonna change that. That's all Velcroed in, by the way. Let me pull that off and put it back on at will. But yeah, we got to do a portrait one. And so it continues. Alright, well, we got a project coming up. We're gonna do it right now today. I wanna see it. I definitely wanna see it. I can see it in my head already. That'd be freaking cool. We're gonna put on the floor. What if we could do the floor? We did this before. We did a floor demonstration and with the electrical one. We did it with mapping, but I wonder if we can turn the floor to liquid and turn that to a porch. We got to do it. That'd be freaking sick. That would be sick. All right, we're gonna work another project. When I get all this done and I get everything set up, then we'll bring you in. We'll check it out. Oh man, this is gonna be so cool.